Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Real Talk podcast where real people talk about the real. And as y'all could tell, today I got on my hood. It's raining outside, but hey, we still coming out here. We still getting it done. And I just dropped the new phone that I'm recording off of, and now it has a crack in it. But hey, I'm still motivated to get this done for y'all. I want to. And if it starts raining too hard, I got another spot I'll go to that hopefully shouldn't have rain coming down on it. So yeah, and as y'all can tell, the background's a little different today. We had to switch benches because this bench is a little drier than my usual bench. But I'm gonna put in a clip right now that will show y'all how it was getting here and how bad the rain was. Today's episode 5, is going to be called The Lonely Chapter, and how the lonely chapter is the best chapter in your life is what I want to go over today. And I have a few notes on my phone that I'm going to use to also add to that conversation of the lonely chapter, So yeah, we're going to get straight into it. This is going to be another shorter episode. I want to switch through, I have my ones that will be an hour long, and then I'll have my ones that'll be like a little 20 minutes, 30 minutes around there, and then I'll have my ones about books. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. Today's Christmas Eve, so happy early Christmas to y'all. I hope everyone has a good Christmas. I hope everyone has a good time with their families. And yeah, let's get straight to it. So to jump straight into the lonely chapter, I'm gonna just simply start by saying to y'all need to come to the understanding that the lonely chapter is the best chapter of your life. The reason that the lonely chapter is the best chapter of your life is because you're going to be able to learn yourself. You're going to be able to achieve so much if you're lonely. And in the lonely chapter, you're going to realize that there's nothing wrong with being lonely. You're going to realize that you're not meant for everybody. There's a lot of things that happen when you're in that lonely chapter of your life. And I would say right now in my life, I'm in the lonely chapter because I feel lonely. And when I say I feel lonely, it's like, obviously, like I said in previous podcast, my friends live in California, so I don't get to see them every day. I don't have friends out here in Texas. I go to work and I'm cool with my coworkers, but they don't know me, they don't get me, they don't understand me, and they're also not where I would want to be, And part of what I put in my notes right here about the lonely chapter is that you also need to create new relationships, right here. You have to leave relationships you have now for new relationships you need for your future self, right? And what I mean by that is you have your current relationships. You might be in a friendship or in a relationship with a partner because you don't want to be lonely, right? But guess what? You're just allowing yourself to make excuses. You're too scared to be by yourself. You're too scared to feel lonely. Fear is also another thing that I'm going to go over on another podcast, but I'll probably do that on episode 6 or 7. We'll get to that for sure because that's big. Fear plays mind games with you. Fear makes you scared to be lonely, right? And that's something you shouldn't be. The lonely chapter is the most powerful chapter of your life, the best chapter of your life. The reasoning behind that is literally, like I said, you just need to realize that there's nothing wrong with being lonely. You're not meant for everybody. Everybody's not meant for you. You're surrounded by people that aren't where you want to be. Why are you going to keep surrounding yourself around them? You're dating someone that you don't want to be with. Why would you keep doing that? You're doing that because you're scared of being lonely, right? And that makes you a weak individual. If you really want to grow, if you really want to be better, you have to realize that you have to be willing to be lonely. And you're going to realize that being lonely is a blessing. Being able to have a lonely chapter in your life is a blessing. Being able to take yourself out on a date, being able to buy yourself something nice, being able to realize that you could conversate with yourself, and you'll realize a lot more about yourself than what everybody else is telling you. You're conversating with other people about how you feel. You're conversating with other people about what they think about you. Why? What do you think about yourself? Are you content with how you feel about yourself? Like, those are things that you're going to learn in the lonely chapter. Oh, you like reading, you like going on walks, That's what I like doing. And guess what? I'm a lonely ass person. I'm a lonely person. And nothing's wrong with being a lonely person. At times, yeah, don't get me wrong, I'd be feeling sad from feeling lonely. Like I said, I've never dated. That's pretty lonely, But hey, I've been able to learn so much about myself. Therefore, that's why I'm able to have this standard that I hold myself to when it comes to finding partners in my life. If I were to date someone, there's a standard that they have to meet, I don't want to feel lonely in a relationship. I don't want to feel lonely in a friendship. And I find myself surrounding myself by people at times because I felt lonely. I was too scared to be alone, so I surrounded myself by people. And that was my weakness, and that could be your weakness too. You just might not realize it, or you don't want to admit it. But guess what? You need to, because you need to start realizing that nothing is wrong with being lonely. The lonely chapter is so great, and it is your best chapter because you get to learn so much about yourself and only yourself, and you get to choose how you want to go about your life and what you want to do in the future. Not everyone's going to be for you in the future. Not everyone's going to be for you now, and you're still surrounding yourself by those people. I saw this in the guy that I shouted out in the last episode, Purpose Driven Men, his YouTube. He said, you're surrounded by a whole bunch of level oneers. And what are level oneers going to want to do? Keep you at level 1. They don't want to see you past those levels, And I was conversating with my grandma about this yesterday. People don't want to see you win. People don't want to see you prosper. They don't want to see you do better, because guess what? Then people realize that they're not doing anything, that they're lazy, that they're at level 1, and you're trying to be at level 10. You're not even trying to go past that. You're trying to be on levels that nobody even knew were possible to obtain. That's me. I don't wish to be at level 1 forever. I don't wish to be down here below level 1. So guess what? I work, and I put in that work, and I put in that effort, because I'm not going to be a lazy person that's stuck below level 1. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm below level 1. The way I feel, the loneliness that I feel, also makes me realize that I am below level 1 and that I'm pushing myself out of level 1. But guess what? That's because I'm lonely. That's because I'm relying on myself and only myself. That's why I'm able to do that. That's why I'm able to come out here and put in the work. No one else is in my mind telling me, oh, no, it's not cool to work out, You could get ripped, but guess what? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I don't like working out. People be saying, I don't like working out. Or I'll start next year, or I'll start next month, or I'll start in 2 days. I'll start in 4 days, and then they never get that done. Because guess what? They weren't comfortable enough to even go do that. And you're surrounding yourself with those people, and guess what? They're not going to let you out of that level 1 because they're also on that level 1. They're on that level 1, so they don't want to get out of that level. They don't wish to, because if they wanted to, they wouldn't just say, oh, I want to go work out. They would just go do it. Goes back to what I was saying in previous podcasts. Be a person of action. We're going to have a whole podcast about that, because all these people are not about action nowadays. Also, in the lonely chapter, guess what? You get to realize that people are also not doing well nowadays. People are all at level 1. The average now, the standard has been set so low. The average human being isn't doing anything. The average human being doesn't do anything on a daily basis. They go to work, and that's it. That's all their life is. They go to work. They go to work, make money or whatever. Or they have a family, and they don't even take care of their family the right way, because they're too scared of being lonely. They're too scared of locking in. Before they even had that family, they were too scared. And guess what? Now their family has to suffer because of it. I come from a family like that, and it sucks to say, but guess what? I will never be like that. I learned from that because I was able to cherish being lonely. I was able to realize that being lonely is a blessing. And that even you're not ever really truly lonely, because guess what? You have God on your side. And God wants you to walk this path of loneliness. God wants you to understand that this chapter in your life, this lonely chapter, is going to bless you with so much. This lonely chapter is going to make you a stronger person. This lonely chapter is going to teach you more things you never even knew about yourself. This lonely chapter is going to allow you to work out. This lonely chapter is going to allow you to learn how to cook and eat better. This lonely chapter is going to allow you to learn that you like to read. find books that you like to read, what category of books you like to read. This lonely chapter is going to let you get to know yourself. That's why the lonely chapter is the most important chapter of your life. How are you going to give people your full, authentic self if you don't even know yourself because you're too scared of being lonely? Not saying that you have to be lonely to get to know yourself, but most of the time you do. I feel like you really do. But I know a lot of people out there don't want to hear that. But hey, never mind. Forget what I just said. This is the Real Talk podcast where real people talk about the real. And the real is that the lonely chapter is necessary if you wish to be a better person. It just is. How you want to be better, but you surround yourself with people that don't even do anything. You have to surround yourself with people, if you're going to surround yourself with people that are where you want to be. People that are having the conversations that you need to have. Think about that. Y'all need to understand that. Nobody understands that nowadays. Right here I put, are you surrounded by people that make you feel truly happy or artificially happy? People bring artificial happiness. Everyone in my life usually brings me artificial happiness. I have my few friends that don't, but even at times I feel like they might even. And there's no diss to them, but I didn't take that. I was scared of taking that lonely risk. But guess what? Now my phone be on D&D. I bought a second phone so I could record and have a separate phone to just focus on that. To focus on my podcast. Focus on getting done what I want to get done. Sorry if y'all can hear me because I'm pounding on this, but I'm trying to really get this through y'all heads. Y'all need to understand this. This lonely chapter that you're having in your life is a blessing. God gave you this for a reason. God gave you that path for a reason. You weren't meant to be for everybody else. You were meant to be around those people that you're currently around. Those people weren't meant for you, but you're scared of being lonely, so guess what? You're surrounding yourself by them. You're forcing yourself to be in that relationship. You're forcing yourself to be in that friendship, that family ship. It goes back to what I was saying about every type of relationship in life. You have to first have a relationship with yourself, though. That's the strongest thing. That's the strongest relationship. That's the strongest bond you could build is with yourself. You have to get to understand yourself. You have to get to understand the style you want to wear. You have to get to understand the music taste you like. Not the music taste everybody else likes. Not the style everybody else likes. You have to start understanding what you want to do and what you like. Take yourself out on that date. Take yourself out to the movies. Take yourself out to go get some food. This stuff is big, y'all. I don't know how many times I have to say it in the podcast that these things are big. And someone asked me, oh, why is your channel called a podcast if it's just you? Because one day this isn't going to be just a lonely chapter of my life. One day I'm going to be surrounded by people that bring me real happiness, not artificial happiness. One day I'm going to be surrounded by people that are able to even get on this podcast because they're real. The reason that this is called a podcast is because this is a podcast channel. This is going to be a podcast channel, and it is a podcast channel now. I don't care what everybody says. I don't feel like this can't be a podcast channel because I don't have other guests on here. I have a mic, I have a camera, so guess what? This is a pod. If you don't like it, then you could go somewhere else. I don't really want your attention. I don't want your like. I don't want your comment. I don't need it because I'm able to understand that this loneliness that I feel is bringing me power, bringing me strength. I'm learning so much about myself through this lonely chapter. I've always felt lonely. If I really am keeping it real with y'all, I've always felt lonely. I hang out with my friends, and I even be telling the homies, like, hey, bro, I'm not going to lie. I'm having a good time, but I'm still missing something inside. Because guess what? I'm in this lonely chapter of my life. And nothing's wrong with that. Stop wanting people to pity you because you feel lonely. Stop wanting people to come take care of you because you feel lonely. Stop wanting people to surround you because you feel lonely. Stop begging for attention because you're too scared of being lonely. You a weak individual if you do that. Oh, I'm scared to be lonely, so I don't even want to start the lonely chapter of my life. Not even knowing that the lonely chapter is going to bless you, that God wants you to go on a lonely chapter of your life so you can understand yourself, but you're too scared. So you surround yourself by people that aren't helping you. So you surround yourself by people that make you feel good. You surround yourself by people that lie to you, that gaslight you. You're in a relationship that you don't even like. You're in a friendship that you don't even like. You're surrounding yourself by family members that you don't even like. But you're deluding your own mind to where you think, oh, I don't want to be lonely, so I'm just going to lie to myself. Oh, I love this person. I care for this person. This person cares for me. But you haven't even taken the time to care for yourself, to love for yourself. That's why I'm trying to explain to y'all this lonely chapter is worth it. This lonely chapter is meant for you. Not everyone's meant for you, and you're not meant for everyone. I had to realize this. I used to put on this fake facade back when I was in middle school that I was cool, that I was tough, that I was a bully, whatever I was. And guess what? I went into a lonely, lonely time in my life back then because I was putting on this facade and then going home and things were happening to me and no one else even knew about it at school. That's a lonely chapter because you feel lonely. You go to school, you put on this act, and then everyone realizes, oh, they probably even notice. Everyone realizes, like I was going to say, everybody realizes that you're not even acting right. That seems a little fake of you. Why are you acting like that? You know, like people will peep the fake. Some people can't. And there's nothing wrong with those people. But guess what? I'm one of those people that can. And I be peeping the fake. I was able to peep the fake in myself and realize that I need to go on a lonely chapter of my life. And I've been on this lonely chapter for a long, long time, y'all. And I'll tell y'all, it's not easy. But guess what? It's necessary. If you want to grow as a person, it's necessary. If you want to be better, if you want to have better financial gain, it's necessary. If you want to figure out what you want to do in the future, it's necessary. If you want to go through your life lying to yourself and saying, "Oh, these people love me, these people care for me," when they don't care about you, they don't love you, they don't wish to. Because why would they? Why would they care for you? Why would they love you? They don't even like you because you don't even like yourself. Like, think about that, y'all. Y'all feel this loneliness because you haven't even taken the time to invest in yourself. The best investment is the investment that you put into yourself. Like I said, this lonely chapter is crazy, y'all. This lonely chapter is not easy, y'all, but it's necessary. It's necessary if you want to be great. It's necessary if you want to understand yourself. It's necessary if you want to draw up your own plans of life. You want everybody else to make your plan? You want everybody else to be the plan? Because guess what? If you do, you'll never accumulate to anything in life. How can you become something if you haven't even gone through the lonely chapter? How can you be great if you can't even focus on yourself? How can you be great if you don't even know yourself? How could you date someone if you don't even know yourself? Like, this stuff is huge, y'all. This stuff is big. How could you be friends with people if you don't even know yourself? How could you give your family your full presence if you don't even know yourself? Think about that, y'all. Like, this stuff is crazy, but it's meant for you. These feelings that you feel might feel crazy, but they're meant for you. The people around you might be a blessing that God's given you. That's what I had to realize. All these people that I don't like, all these people that I know are giving me this artificial happiness, I had to realize that those people ain't for me. Those people aren't going to give me any benefit to myself. Those people aren't going to help me invest in myself. You'll have to realize that these people aren't for you. That person isn't for you. Your family might not be for you. And nothing's wrong with that. My podcast might not be for you. But guess what? There's going to be a time in your life when you get past this lonely chapter that people will be for you. Like I was trying to say, y'all are going to be surrounding yourself by people in the future that are going to be like you. There's going to be people that love you, that care for you, that truly, truly do. Not that artificial happiness that you're feeling now because you're scared of being lonely. Like, y'all got to think about this. This stuff is huge. This stuff will change your life. This lonely chapter will change your life. But you have to realize that this lonely chapter is necessary. And you have to fully be alone in the lonely chapter. Not relying on other people. Like I said, that's weak. You want to rely on other people, then guess what? You'll never be anything because you're too scared to be alone. You're too scared to realize that these other people ain't for you. You're too scared to realize that that girlfriend or boyfriend's not for you. You're too scared to realize that your family's not for you. Because you're scared of being alone. But guess what? That makes you a weak individual. Because that lonely chapter that you will have in your life will be a great chapter. It's going to be the best chapter. Because you're going to be able to realize that you are loved. But not by everybody. You're loved by yourself. Then everybody will truly love you. Instead of that artificial love that you feel deep down inside. Instead of that lonely feeling that you feel deep down inside. Instead of that hatred that you feel deep down inside. Y'all got to think about this. Y'all got to understand this lonely chapter is necessary. This lonely chapter is a great chapter. This lonely chapter is your best chapter. I struggled with this, y'all. That's why I'm able to say this stuff. That's why I'm able to tell y'all this stuff. That's why I'm able to help y'all with this stuff. Like, y'all have to realize this lonely chapter is going to be great, y'all. I don't know how many times I gotta keep repeating it. God meant for you to not be average. It's not meant for you. It's not. Those people aren't meant for you. God made you different. But God can't make you realize that. God can't tell you that. God can only hope that you understand that and that you'll live through him, and then he will bless you. God's not going to bless someone that doesn't truly understand themselves. When you go into prayer, how are you praying to God if you don't even know what you're praying for? You're praying because you're scared. You're praying because you feel lonely. He's not going to bless you. Like, come on now. Read the Bible. The Bible will tell you that. Right here, this is something that I put that is big. It's meant for you, not towards you. It's meant for you, not towards you. God made these things for you, not towards you. Those traumas that you feel weren't towards you, they were for you. Those people that you don't like are for you. No, those people aren't for you. You just convince yourself that they are because you're scared of being lonely. Those people are not towards you, they're for you, right? Meaning those people are a learning lesson. Those people are what you don't want to be. If you're surrounded by people right now and you know that they're for you, then guess what? They're for you, not towards you. And you'll get to understand that when you're surrounded by people that are for you, not towards you. Meaning they're not against you. They don't have a evil scheme. They're not plotting on the low. Like, come on now, y'all. Y'all need to start realizing this. Those people aren't towards you. They're for you. You're not for those people. You're not for those people. How can you be for those people if you ain't for yourself? This life is not towards you. It's for you. This path is not towards you. It's for you. Stop blaming it on everybody else. Stop blaming it on how you feel. Get to understand how you feel first before you start saying how you feel. That's what the lonely chapter is for. You have to start understanding what your feelings even are. Stop self-sabotaging. That's another thing I put in my notes. These are all things, all topics. Look, these are all topics that I want to go over on my podcast. But some of these add into the lonely chapter of life. Every day should be your peak. People, there's this stupid connotation in life that there's a peak in life. If you tell yourself that there was a peak moment in your life, you will always hold yourself to a low standard. You will never be greater than your peak. Every day should be your peak. This lonely chapter will teach you that every day can be your peak. If you stop allowing other people to persuade you on how you're supposed to feel, you stop allowing people to make you get off of your path, to make you not even understand that you have a path. You're allowing people to not even let you go through with your plans. You're surrounding yourself around people that don't even support your plan. You're surrounding yourself by people that aren't even for your plan. Meaning they're not even part of that plan. Like, come on now, y'all. Y'all need to realize these things. And if you do realize these things, then guess what? This video is meant for you, not towards you. But if you don't realize these things, this video is meant towards you, and then it will be for you eventually when you start to realize that this lonely chapter can be something. That this lonely chapter can be great. You create your reality. That's why you need to go through the lonely chapter, so you can understand what kind of reality you want to create. You can understand that you create your reality. Your outlook on life is what your reality will become. The attention you give is what you will become. You give certain music your attention, you give certain styles your attention, and now you're dressing like that. Now you're listening to that music all the time. Now you're dressing like that all the time. But are you doing that because everybody else is doing it, or are you doing it because you truly want to do that? It's for you, not towards you. That's big, y'all. It's for you, not towards you. How many times I'm going to repeat it? It's for you, not towards you. That stuff could be used, or that saying, I apologize for that. That saying can be used for every aspect of your life. Certain people aren't for you. You have to realize that. Then you will allow yourself to be great. Then you will be great. Create the life that you want. Don't let life create you. You have to go through the lonely chapter so you could create the life that you want, instead of letting life create you. You have to fully grasp your life. You have to fully understand yourself so you could do that, though. If you don't fully understand yourself, then you need to go into a lonely chapter of your life. Like I said, your family's not going to be for you. Your friend's not going to be for you. Your girlfriend or boyfriend not going to be for you. Not everyone's meant for you. God made you different for a reason. Because he knows you could accomplish so much if you were able to lock in on that lonely chapter of life. But yeah, y'all, I really want y'all to understand these things. I really want y'all to prosper, you know. I struggled with these things. I'll talk about it more in detail one day on this podcast, you know, when I'm surrounded by people that don't make me feel lonely, when I have real individuals that I could bring on this podcast and that I could talk about these things with, that I'm able to relate to these things with. I've met nobody in my life that I truly 100% relate to, bruh. That's why I know this lonely chapter will not be forever. There's going to be someone out there that's for me one day. There's going to be a woman out there that's for me one day. There's going to be friends out there that are for me one day. I am surrounded by a few friends that are for me currently. Like, don't get that wrong. You might have some friends that you might not even allow yourself to realize that are for you. But you have to be able to know who's for you and who's towards you, y'all. You'll have to realize that not everybody's going to be for you. You're not going to be meant for everybody. You might not even be meant for anyone. But eventually you will. Eventually there will be people out there that will love you. Eventually there will be people out there that bring you peace. Eventually you'll be surrounded by people that don't make you feel lonely. Eventually you'll be surrounded by people that you don't got to put on a facade for. You don't got to put on a character. You don't got to act different. You could be yourself. And they'll accept that with open arms. There's people out there. 8 billion people on this planet. 8 billion people on this planet. I had to say it twice so y'all really understand. You're one individual. You might surround yourself with 10 more individuals, but guess what? There's still 8 billion people on this planet. Meaning there's more than enough people to go around to where you will meet someone that's for you. You will meet friends that are for you. You will have family that you feel are for you. And if they're not for you, then guess what? They're against you. And that might be a scary thing for y'all, but that's something y'all need to realize, and that's something y'all need to move past. That's why the lonely chapter is the greatest chapter of your life. You're going to be able to realize all of these things if you lock in and you get done with this lonely chapter. But it will be done whenever it's done. It's not going to be done when you choose for it to be done. It's not how it works. I've been on this lonely chapter probably my whole life without even realizing it. I've always felt lonely deep down inside, but guess what? I was scared to admit that at times, so I don't know if that's truly how I feel. But guess what? When I was able to get into this lonely chapter fully with my undivided attention, I was able to understand myself way more. I was able to realize my friends way more. And guess what? I still do feel lonely. And that's not to diss any of my friends. Like I said, I love my people, man. And I really hope my peoples love me. But I don't really know. I don't. And there will be people out there that I do know. But I'm also I just don't trust people. Because I still have that gut feeling of loneliness. That's just how I am, y'all. And that's just might be how you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. God made me this way for a reason. God gave me these crazy goals that I have for a reason. I'm going to accomplish these crazy goals for a reason. I'm now realizing that I need to surround myself with people that are for me, not towards me. Right now, I'm surrounded by everybody that's towards me, not for me. Because none of those people realize what I want to do. None of those people even take the time to know what I want to do. So why are you faking that you want to be around those people? Why are you convincing yourself that you want to be around that person all the time? That you want to date that person all the time? That you want to be around your family all the time? You want to be around your friends all the time? Why are you convincing yourself that that's how it is when you know it's not? They're not for you. They're towards you. They're against you. You're against yourself. You're not for yourself. You need to be. This lonely chapter is going to pass. It's not going to be forever. And once you realize that and you're able to go through the lonely chapter, the best chapter of your life, you're going to come out of it a way better person, a stronger individual. You're going to care and love for yourself, and that's going to make you have this radiant light coming off of you, this radiant aura, if you wanted to say, coming off of you, because God's going to bless you with so much if you're able to endure the lonely chapter. But you have to fully be willing to endure the lonely chapter, not halfway, not, oh, I'll have my girlfriend or boyfriend do it. I'll have my friends help me with it. I'll have my family help me with it. No. Once you're comfortable with loneliness, then you'll surround yourself with people and you'll truly know who you want to be surrounded by. And you'll surround yourself with those people. So yeah, y'all, I just wanted to say this to everybody who's watching. I just wanted everyone to fully understand that I am going through a lonely chapter. But I'm not truly alone because I have myself at the end of the day. How can you be lonely if you have yourself? True loneliness, in my opinion, is when you have nobody at all. And that's one of the best chapters of your life because I went through that. I'm still currently going through that. At times I don't have myself. At times I do things that aren't for me. They're against me at times. The things I might do to myself or the positions I put myself in. But guess what? I'm learning from it. And that's why I'm able to come out here and talk to y'all about these things. Not everybody's for you. You're not meant for everybody. The lonely chapter is great, y'all. And you'll have to be able to endure this pain that you're feeling, this questioning that you have about yourself is worth it. Ask yourself those questions that you don't want to. Talk to yourself about those things. Go beyond thought with yourself about those things. Endure these things with your full attention. Endure these things with open arms. Endure these things. Once you realize that, you'll be able to do so much and accomplish so much. You'll be able to be around people that are so much to you and you're so much to them, and you're going to just be living a way happier life. And I know that's going to be coming for me real soon, hopefully. I know God will bless me with that, hopefully. Excuse me. And if he doesn't, then guess what? It wasn't for me right now. It wasn't for me next year. The year's coming to an end, y'all. Y'all need to lock in. Endure this lonely chapter and come out of it a greater person. But you have to come out of it for yourself. You have to come out of it by yourself. When you rely on yourself, you're able to accomplish so much. Because you're not having you're having your own attention towards yourself. You're not giving everybody else your attention. You're not giving everybody else your energy. Y'all need to understand this. And if you do understand this, then hey, props to you, because I didn't for a long time. So y'all need to start understanding this early on. Y'all need to start realizing what the lonely chapter is and how great the lonely chapter is. Get to know yourself, y'all. Get to understand yourself, y'all. Get to realize that you can do so much. You can become so much. But you have to rely on yourself to do that. No one else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to get your dreams done for you. No one else is going to get your goals done for you. No one else is going to buy you that new car. No one else is going to buy you that new house. No one else is going to have that future family that you want. You have to go through the lonely chapter to realize these things, and you have to rely on yourself to realize these things. And once you're able to do that, you're going to be such a strong individual. God will bless you with so much because you're able to do that. So yeah, y'all, this is the Real Talk Podcast where real people talk about the real. And I just want to say I appreciate everybody watching. I hope this helped y'all in some way, shape, or form. And like I said, y'all will get through this lonely chapter. But yeah, thank you for watching.